A few things I have to cover. Number one, I'm tired as hell. So if you guys see me sipping some of this tea, just let it slide, right? It's 6:35 p.m. Pretty calm day. Honestly, it's just a normal Sunday. Woke up this morning, had to get the money for the guy that cut my grass. I was able to get some of that figured out. I had to take a tiny loan from a friend. Had to take $20 from my sister to pay her back on Tuesday for my payout that's coming out. Got that payout done. Then I had to go to Walmart to get that money cashed in. It was cash. Ended up doing that. Took $3 fee, whatever. Came out with 17. Put that in. Da 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 da. Had enough to pay him. We're cool. All my bills are pretty much cut even as of right now. Number two, I had to go drop off those 2 shirts at the post office. I got that done earlier today at around like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. That was pretty good. I'm left with $3 in my bank account right now. It is looking strugglicious. I'm not gonna lie. Came home, had to cut some trees, do some yard work. If you guys know, I have those hedge cutters that you had to use like big scissors. So I had to cut the entire yard with that. It took me a minute. And then after I was done with that, I had to rake everything, pick it up, put it in the trash can, clean my pavement, and make everything look pretty. I had to cut some, what's it called? Some weeds that were left in a tree stump that we had cut recently. Basically just basic yard work. But it did take me about 30 minutes, but it was a lot of energy. It was very hot outside. I was pretty cooked. I hadn't eaten a good meal in one day. And when I say a good meal, I mean like anything. Yesterday, I think all I had was oatmeal, eggs, and some bread. I mean, yeah, that's cool, but for the amount of cardio I do, that was burnt off immediately. I was biking that day, and I had to hit some insane basketball cardio the next time, so yeah. Last night, my sleep was pretty good, but I did notice that my legs were quite sore, so I'm going to take it easy on the basketball. I just turned down playing today. I'm probably going to turn down playing tomorrow, and I'm also probably not going to bike tomorrow as well, just so I can refrain from my legs being cooked. I need them to recover a little bit. And I don't feel sore, but I notice that I am sore when I'm laying down at night and I'm trying to stretch it out and it's just not coming out. For supplements, I'm taking every other day the normal supplements that I've been talking about recently. I've gotten off of creatine and stuff like that, even though I think I should get back on it, but I should be good without it. It's been like a year. Also, I did notice that I am getting a little bit more shredded. I think that just comes from me not eating as much and me doing a lot of cardio. It was bound to happen eventually. My 6-pack, or is it an 8-pack? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So my 6-pack is coming back. I'm still a little chunky. So I'm a chunky boy with a 6-pack. I'm, 195? Something like that, like 200 pounds. So I'm pretty hefty. And then I've got the 6-pack. I don't work out. I just do straight cardio. So, I mean, you know, to stay fit and stay like this is pretty good. It might just be my Negro genetics, but we'll have to see. When it comes to the payout that I'm getting on the 26th of, I think, like $60 from Depop, 20 of that will immediately go back to paying off my sister. And then 40 of that dollars will probably go towards, like, the credit card payment that I have to be making. I don't think I'm gonna fully pay it off just yet, but it depends on what my funds are looking like. But if once I get fully paid out, I can see me putting that money into the credit card. So I might just keep it in my bank account, actually, to be frank. Tomorrow, I also do have to go to the blood clinic and see if I can go ahead and get everything started to see if I can start the process with donating blood. I do have all my paperwork needed, and I'm probably going to call them tomorrow, see what all they need from me before I go, just so I make sure I don't make the trip and end up not having to use it. What else is there to talk about? I did put my stuff on vacation mode. To be expected, a lot of my views and likes went up like triple fold. but that is part of the method for a reason. I think I want to let it open back up on Monday. I think. But I don't know. But on Monday, I think I'm going to put it off of vacation mode. Put all my prices back to normal. I am thinking, what are some items I could list on eBay and have like sold out now of my house? And I don't think I have anything that I could put on eBay. When I put stuff on eBay, I'm hoping that it's gonna be like over the $200 mark. And it seems as if I'm not catching a lot of traction on sales like that. Mercari, I do need to check that right after I make this video and do that. Depop is fine. Facebook, I might need to refresh some listings. When it comes to looking for cars, I'm no longer looking in this current time frame, strictly because I do want to spend this paycheck on, or this payout on covering my credit card fees and my bills immediately. Getting that out of the way so I'm not stressed about that until next month or something like that. So I will need to also be focused on next month getting a payout to cover rent or a payout to cover food and all those other bills. But I do need to make sure my number one priority is not squandering this money that I do get, and to make sure that I move smartly with it. And I understand that I'm currently going to be out of money, but in the future, I'm going to be setting myself up to make more money with this whole credit card thing. So just reminding myself that not spending that money is going to further help me and help me build my credit back to where if I need to, I can spend that money, is going to be a pretty big thing, because I'm going to probably have to wait about 1 to 2 months. Maybe it'll be immediate, I don't know, but I'll have to wait about 2 payment cycles to see how that affects my credit score, see if I can balance everything back out, because I did look at my utilization, and that's pretty much the only thing that I have that's in the red right now. Payment history is good. Inquiries is very good. I think I have 0 right now, or maybe like 1. I did talk to all my bureaus and get all those stuff removed and all that. Collections, I have 0. Everything's pretty much 0 in the green. I think the only thing that's not in the green that's out of my control is the length of credit, and that's because I obviously can't change that. I just have to wait, and with time it'll get better, but we are looking at that. As for everything else, like I said, everything is just kind of coming to me as the days pass. I'm not really trying to force anything. I'm not trying to get anything pushed out. You know what I mean? The only things that I'm really concerned about is making recurring revenue from this blood thing. And if I need to make this blood thing work, I will make it work in some kind of way. And if I do further down feel like the donation stuff, if you know what I'm talking about, the donations are something that I do want to do, I will look into that. But I don't think that's something that I'm personally comfortable with as of this current time and moment. But if it's for the bag, I'm going to get it done. It doesn't matter. If it's not me doing something absolutely insane, I'm going to get it done. And there's people out here wasting it for free. Might as well spend it for money, twin. So, like I said, in the current moment, there is no yamin. But I think it's going to get to the point of where I'm going to have to take like an Uber to these places, or maybe get me a little burner car or something once I can afford it. But that money will be very useful on the back burner, just as like some consistent revenue. That's the only thing I need. I don't need large sums of revenue coming in weekly or monthly. I just need consistent money. The second I can get consistent reoccurring money is the minute I just blow up. And I know it's going to help take off my businesses, because the only problem that I've had over the past few months has been not having backing funding, my credit score being low, and having too many bills to keep paid because I didn't have recurring revenue. So if I can find a way to get that revenue kind of increased, or just make steady money, I know it's going to be golden, and it's going to take a lot of weight off of my chest. And like I said, that's about $800 a month. That's pretty solid. I don't have a problem with that at all. And that's not even including all my sales and everything else in between there. So I'll probably be averaging about $2K a month, which is pretty damn good. And that's more than what I was making at my 9 to 5. And if I can get that done, like I said, that's pretty much the goal that I'm trying to shoot for as of this current moment. and then just scaling up from there and just being able to flip that money into more and more valuable assets. I feel like that's going to really launch me. But I think it all starts with me getting my paperwork done, me building my credit score, and me staying with a level head and knowing that the investment that I'm currently making right now is going to set me off better in the future. So I do need to be very particular with where I put my money and how I move my money from here on out. And if that means some nights that I'm not going to be eating as much as I want to, or that means some nights that I'm not going to be able to enjoy what I want to and stuff like that, I'm willing to make that sacrifice, because I know that the only thing that I just didn't want for my life was that 9 to 5 that had to hold me down all the time, and I felt like I was stuck. So I still have the freedom that I want. I could do what I want when I want, and that's the main goal, and that has been the goal, and it's never really wavered. So to keep doing that and to be able to make consistent money is the goal. And by next month or the month after next, I should be in a spot financially to where I'm happy with how I'm moving and how I don't have to worry about anything. And that is, like I said, the main goal that I'm shooting for. And then hopefully after I get all my finances to where I know that I'm making a consistent amount of money at a consistent amount of rate, that's when I can start making those bigger investments, like buying a car and flipping them, and then ultimately making 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 within the span of like 2 months or 3 months. So 10K a month, 4K a month, 5K a month, something like that, plus the reoccurring revenue that I'm making. And I feel like that's going to be a big breakthrough point for me. And it might even get to the point of where I won't need to move, and it'll be more of a, I'm now self-dependent and I'm making maybe 50,000, 70,000, 80,000. And I have a system in place that's just consistent like clockwork. And as long as I can keep that locked in, it's one of those things that I don't believe can be affected by the market, other than like the car stuff or like Depop moving in some kind of way or something like that. But hopefully by then I would have had the funding and the backing to get back into Forex trading. If you guys don't know, the reason I stopped trading is because I was on funded accounts. And if you don't know, funded accounts have a lot of restrictions and it's not consistent, and freaking 90-10 splits and 55 freaking verification tests you have to do and all this other crap. And it just wasn't something I liked doing. And no matter how good I traded for the first 4 passings of the verification test, there was always some like weird fine print bullshit that was catching me, bro. And I did just recently lose one of my funded accounts. Not the one that was the 100K. I still haven't really messed with that. But it's become so mentally draining to keep up with the funded account rules and all that. And I miss my live account so much. But obviously I don't have the funding. And you would think spending that money and just getting a funded account and building it up and then taking those payouts and making a funded or a payout account is all that, and live accounts and blah, 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 blah. It is, but I don't feel like I'm in a mental state currently to put myself in some kind of perpetual state of mind where I'm just thinking of trade, 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 news, news, trade, trade, news, news, profit, profit, like rules, rules, rules. Like I'm not really in that mental state right now. And I'm hoping that later on when my bills and stuff start to lift off me a little bit more and I have a little bit more freedom to do what I want and be able to explore and like openly stay out of this locked in mindset all the time and be able to like loosen up, like go take a walk in the park if I feel like one day, like to go just listen to music and skateboard again or something, like some hippie shit, bro. I don't know, bro. Just to be able to do whatever and just clear my mind. And if I do that enough times, like I said, this biking stuff recently for me has become a form of therapy, where it's just biking in the wind and the sound of the gears just like that sounds so therapeutic to me. And the same goes for like some people find money counters therapeutic. Some people will find listening to nothing and just sitting down and meditating therapeutic, or just walking in the forest therapeutic. Stuff like that is what I want to experience more and just get in tune with everything that I kind of miss on a daily basis because I'm moving so fast that I don't get the chance to look around. And like I said, the main goal is to really just experience life in the most free form. And like I said, I want to remind myself that freedom is a thing that you can have if you work hard enough for it. We're given the mental mindset like a cage to where we think we're always free and we can do whatever we want. But if in reality, you wake up every morning and you're following a set of rules that you didn't make for yourself. You're paying a set of bills that you didn't make for yourself. You're going to a job that you didn't want, that you have to pay taxes on, that you didn't want yourself. Everything feels like it's an illusion, and you're just stuck in a cage to kind of go by the system day in and day out. And I know that a lot of people can't get out of that system, and there's a lot of people that could, but they're just so mentally drained and physically tired that they don't want to do the work, and that they stay in the situation that they're in because it's comfortable. And for me, it was so damning to be in a situation like that, to where I'm working for somebody day in and day out. And even before I had been fired for Walmart for the reason that I did, I was thinking to myself for the longest, I was like, I'm going to quit when I don't need this job. I'm going to quit. And I'm glad it went down the way it did, because I'll be real, I probably wouldn't have quit in enough time, or I would have probably taken a worse risk that would have put me further back. Or knowing me, I would have gotten too comfortable. But I've never been the type of person to let comfort stop me from doing anything. And I actually mentally prevent myself from being comfortable all the time, as that comes from selling a car or doing dumb modifications to a car or spending money on dumb things, because I have the mental mindset that I'm going to get it back regardless. And I think where it all really started for me was when I thought of money as more of or when I was able to mentally shift my perspective on what money was. And a lot of people see it as like the lifeblood of the system, and that it's something that you need to hold on to and that you need to keep and you need to move smartly. And I'll be real, like I said a long time ago, when I made my first like 20,000 in a month, and I wasn't really talking about it to anybody, and I was selling all those cars, I spent that on the dumbest crap possible, and I'm glad I did, even though it sounds counterintuitive. But I spent that money on something that I enjoyed and something that I loved, and doing new experiences and eating new food. I was eating DoorDash every day, Crumble Cookie every week. I had a new car. It was modified. It was wide body. It was painted up. I had new tools. I got to do engine repairs and all that. It sucked in the current moment, but I do remember every single day enjoying the process of it and doing the money in the way that I wanted to do it. Obviously, it wasn't the smartest investments. I did break up a bit of it and put it into a live account, and I did put another portion of it into building my Shopify business. But ultimately that failed, but the day trading was still a skill that I was able to learn. I tried to spend my money on some mentorships, got scammed out of like 500 and stuff like that. Like those moments for me was very enjoyable. And like I said, it really gave me a perspective shift on how money moves. And I feel like you're not ever going to break out of the system if you can't ever shift your mindset into that way and stop thinking of money as something that's here to stay, and think of it more as somebody told me recently, it's just a current currency, you know. I thought that was clever as hell. But anyway, it's ever revolving. It's never just in one spot. And if you keep yourself in the rain long enough, you're able to get wet. So I see it as, if you're standing in the ocean long enough, you're going to get soaked eventually. As long as you don't let the current drown you, you'll be straight. Start swimming with the tide, my boy. So you have to move with the money. Don't let the money move you. And that's kind of how I'm starting to think about it. And that's why I'm thinking. And ever since I started thinking like that, ever since I started thinking it's not about the money, it's about the person themselves, money has kind of started moving towards me, and I've started to be able to think about more ways of getting it and maintaining it in a more resourceful way without just holding it. If you're able to maintain money without holding money, there's a big difference. You'll be a lot further off than everybody else, because that's a big piece of the puzzle that nobody thinks of. You're always spending money on bills, and taxes and fees and all this stuff, but like no one thinks of, okay, how am I going to release this money in order to get it back super quick? And an example for that of my current situation is my credit card. I'm going to spend money and I'm going to get money back. I'm not going to just spend the money and then just take the money back out of the card, but it's going to be a longer term investment. Everybody's focused on the short term capital and the short movements of everything. It's just quick burst, quick burst, quick burst. I'm starting to now shift my mentality onto longer terms. I'm looking a month ahead of time, a year ahead of time, a few months ahead of time, a week in time. I'm starting to look at that when it comes to money, but when it comes to my mental focus and how I'm thinking about day-to-day life, it's day to day. It's not a month ahead of time. I mean, I might think about what I want to do in the future, but I'm not guaranteed that time. So you have to make the best of it as you get it and make the smartest moves that you can on the chessboard. Like I said, even some days it seems like I'm not doing a lot and it seems like I'm just kind of chilling. But even on those days, I'm mentally thinking of, how am I going to make this move tomorrow? How am I going to make this work? How am I going to move this money here? How am I going to get a sale on this? How am I going to invest more into my business to make it expand in this way? And like I said, I feel like the difference between a man that makes $10,000 a month and the difference between $100,000 a month is all mentality. It has nothing to do with the business. It just has to do with the person themselves. So if I can make that mental shift and I can mentally mature in such a way that I can be a better person or be that person I know the $100,000 person is, and start shooting for that before I start shooting for the million and taking that step at a time, I know I'll be golden. And you guys can probably see the difference in my demeanor over the past few videos, because it really has been just me sitting in the mental lab. And yeah, I'm playing fucking Roblox and watching Kai Cenat videos every once in a while, and I'm indulging in brain rot activities, and I'm making funny videos, but in reality and behind the scenes, a lot of that time is being spent in my mental focus, bro. I'm telling you, my physical might not look like I'm doing too much, but mentally I'm always thinking. And I love actually being hungry, because when I'm hungry, that's when I'm thinking the most about how I'm gonna make bread, bro. And I've said that before. The most dangerous man is a man that has nothing to lose. And or a man that's hungry, in my opinion. If a man, mentally or physically, bro, what? Bro, there's sometimes I be hungry, boy. I be thinking the craziest thoughts. I be like, how am I gonna make 500K in 1 millisecond, bro? Like, I be thinking crazy things. And it usually, times like that is when I do make the most money, or I make the best decisions to like alley-oop myself into some money. And recently I've been having a lot of that. I've been having a lot of just sitting down and thinking, and that's what kind of gave me the idea to do what I'm doing tomorrow and to start making those money moves that I've been talking about on these videos. And I'm very glad that in the past I did think of making these content videos every single day again, because I know further down my future, I'm going to be watching these videos. I don't care for the views. The views sound good. They look good. I can flex them to the hus every once in a while. But I mean, yeah, I can get monetization off of these videos. And it would help my case. And that would be another stream of income that I'd make. But it's more of a journal for me. And it's always been a journal for me. For like a form of therapy, and it's helped me clear my mental state a lot of times when I didn't have somebody to talk to. And that's why I kind of incentivize you guys to look into it and try these kind of things. You don't even have to post a video, but being able to speak your open mind, I feel like really does help with all those like jumbled thoughts that are in your head. And I'm so glad this happens to me all the time, but I speak my mind so much on these videos that when I turn to the next day or it's the next video, I no longer have anything to say. So a lot of these videos will be like, because I'm trying to find things to think of and like talk about. But genuinely, I had already spoken my mind from yesterday. It used to be to the point of where I'd spend hours. Like, there was times I would talk to these cameras for hours. I would run out of storage in my phone multiple times on end. Strictly because I had so much to think of and I didn't have enough of my vocal to talk about it. So I just sit on here in my car, hours on end, just talking. And now it's gotten to the point of where I don't think my longest video is past like 50 minutes. And 50 minutes is short for me, boy. Y'all know how I get, bro. So like I said, these videos, because I want to be able to express how I'm feeling in a video format. B, because I want to be able to help you guys for the people that are watching. C, because I do want to keep a journal for my future self. And D, because because I want to keep some form of revenue coming in. And eventually down the road, this might become a form of revenue for me. And that would be great. But it's not my main priority. I do want to be able to help people before I'm able to profit off of it, I guess I can say. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna hold you guys. I feel like I'm a college professor talking about damn everything in one sitting, and you guys are just twiddling damn pencils looking at me. But another thing, I'm gonna leave you guys off of this. Another thing that I saw today, the first Instagram reel that I actually saw, and the last for today, because I'm off of there, was a guy saying how his friends were coming to him years later after he made it. He had 2 Porsches that he was like sitting there going like this with. I'm not one to flex. I don't really like to flex all too much. Obviously, I am a guy at the end of the day. I love to show a watch every once in a while and flex a little something, but I'm not a huge flexer, in my opinion. I could really pop some, you know what I mean? But like, I don't feel like it's my place to really just flex everything I have. So hold up. Oh, that's good. So this guy was flexing his cars, and he was saying how his friends, which I've had this happen to me actually, funny enough, with like 6 of my past friends from like people from back in like, what, elementary school? What? Some from like freshman year of high school as well. Some from middle school, like random ass people hit me up years later. I haven't heard from them in years. Hit me up. Hey, bro, can you put me on? Hey, bro, can you send me $20? Bro, let me know what your strategy is, bro. Let's do business. Can you boost my post on Instagram, bro? Who the hell is you, bro? I don't even know you anymore. I'll be real. I'll look at some of their pictures and I'll be like, I don't know this person. They out here gang banging, smoking, and drinking, and they begging me for money like I'm their daddy. First of all, I ain't got money to spare for your ass. I'm gonna be real. Secondly, if I had the money, I'm not giving it to you when all I'm seeing on your account is you smoking and drinking. You about to go buy a bottle of Tito's and go flex that with the hoes like it was your money. Second or thirdly, where were you the past few years? You ain't give me no bread. You ain't give me no words of encouragement. You ain't boost my IG post. You ain't throw none of the hustle my way. Who the hell is you? That's what I'm saying. And I feel like everybody has this mental illusion that they're entitled into something or that they're owed something just because they're somebody. No. I've always been telling you guys that just because you're something or somebody doesn't mean that you're entitled to said position or power. Just because we were friends 20 years ago does not mean you can hit me up today and say, hey, bro, give me $500. Dude, it's been 20 years. I don't even remember your first name. It's only because it's in your username that I can kind of remember it. I don't know your last name. I don't know your mom. I don't know your financial status. I don't even know what car you drive. I don't know who you are. So to get back to what the guy said in the video is pretty much what I just explained. I cut over that, but he was saying that people were shouting out and saying, hey, bro, give me this, give me that, give me that, give me. And he was saying that you weren't there at the table when it was empty. Why the hell do you think you can eat from it now that there's plates full of food? And I can understand that to some point or to some extent, even though I haven't made it crazy yet. And not that I plan on making it crazy, but I mean, money is money. If I get so much money, that's cool. If I stay at a steady income, I'm shooting for like 5K a month. If I can make 5K a month, I could live life peaceful as hell. I won't have a single worry. That's 50,000, 60,000 a year, right? That is Gucci, clean, cool, Benny, Prada, etc. I'm chilling. Gucci with the shirts and the snakes on it. There won't be a single word muttered out of my mouth. Oh, my life is hard. 60K, I'll take it. If I got to, I'm moving somewhere cheaper. But 60K a month is Gucci. That's my goal right now. I've been saying like for years, I want to be a millionaire. I want to drive this car. I want to do that. Why? What difference does it make? And that I'm glad once again that I spent the money that I did on the car that I did and the experiences that I did. Because once I got all that stuff, I was like, this shit is bogus, for lack of better words. I was like, this is horrible. It was cool. The only advantage I got was people like, yo, your car tough, bro. Oh my God. But like, other than that, like, I enjoyed the car, don't get me wrong, but it was more of those, it was like a sneak peek into like what the future would hold if I went to like the millionaire route and I was driving like a McLaren or something. It's just a car. And I'm going back to the Tesla. Don't get me messed up. Like I enjoyed it, but it's just a car. It's and I got with that and now I'm thinking like maybe that's the way it's gonna be for everything else. The bust down watch, the bust down necklace, the new house, the penthouse, the new cars, like the flights out to Jabim, like the party and the vacation. That's how I'm thinking about everything now. And it's I guess a sense of maturity of where it comes to that stuff doesn't appeal to me anymore. It is kind of just whatever. And it's not because I can't afford it. But I mean, I guess it is kind of because, yeah, I would still buy it if I had the money, like the FU money to buy it, obviously. But if I just have mediocre money and like I'm pushing six figures, I mean, that's good mediocre money. Don't get me mixed up. But if I was pushing six figures, I would not spend my time buying luxury goods. I never did like luxury goods. I'd rather buy the rep. I'll be so real with you, bro. The only time I buy the authentic thing is if I'm reselling it. Word to bro. Or I get a trade for it. Word to bro. Um, yeah. Besides, like the only thing that I think I got is this Louis Vuitton bag over here, but it's like a blacked out bag. You would never know it's Louis Vuitton unless you saw like the little emblem on the corner, which is also blacked out. But I was thinking, I was like, bro, the luxury lifestyle never appealed to me. Um, and it especially didn't appeal to me after the fact of me selling my Tesla. Because like I said, it just became a car at one point. Like, it's just a vehicle to get to A to B. Once you get to A or B, you're not looking at it anymore. It's not there. Now, for a luxury house, on the other hand, a penthouse, I feel like I could rock in one of those. Now, super expensive, like, mansions and stuff like that, that's overkill. You're doing too much. A luxury apartment, sure. I'd get something like that just because high security, very convenient. All my what is it, amenities, something like that, are all there in the building. And there's a few penthouses in my area, Nashville's area, that I was considering going to. If you guys know what 1111 South Church Street is, it's one of the penthouses I was looking at, or the luxury apartments, I guess they call it. I call them penthouses. It sounds better. But that was one of the penthouses I was looking into, and it looked beautiful. Me and my cousin went, and we thought about moving in together. And I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. And then obviously recently I just came up with the idea to move wherever I'm moving, and yeah. So we're gonna have to see how I feel about that. Maybe within 5 months' time, I'm like, yeah, nah, because I've been thinking about that penthouse idea for a minute. But I could always get a penthouse where I'm going, but who knows? Wait, spicy. Lemon and ginger, if you guys are wondering, by the way, it's kind of peak. Keeps me awake for sure. I'm gonna end it here. I will give you guys an update on what I do tomorrow. Like I said, the big thing that I'm looking for, I don't care about my payouts or none of that. The big thing I'm looking for are these blood donations. Am I able to get in? If I'm able to get in, it will become a weekly thing. 2 times a week. Every week. I will not miss a week. Fuck are you talking about? I will not miss a week. Hold up. Yeah, I will not miss a week at all. I will be there. Uber, bike ride, scooter ride, running, walking, crawling. I will be there. I just want to keep all my stuff low maintenance. I'll be real. And you guys can see the bumps are starting to go away on my face. I told y'all I was going to pull up and I was going to mess your girl. I was going to mess with your girl when I got it, boy. Yeah, lucky ass, bro. I ain't found her yet, but when I find her, I'm gonna, where your mom, man, nigga? But anyhow, I love you guys. I'll check you out in the next video. Make sure you stay up with me, nigga. Oh, that look weird. Anyways, I'm gonna I'm gonna leave you guys alone, bro. I love you guys, and I'll check y'all later. Peace.